Hello YouTube, my name is Paul. Hope you're all keeping well. I'm back today then with another pickup video. Got a mixed bag this time. Got quite a few games on different systems. Got some on the FM Towns, PC, Amiga, Atari ST. Yeah, quite a few. So I'll crack on. Please excuse me, I've got a bit of a croaky voice. I've had a cold for a couple of weeks and I can't shake the bastard. So first up is Nightmare, based on that classic TV series from when, well, back in the 80s I suppose. I can never suss the game out, to be honest. I can never get out the first flipping cell. Watched David Birdsall play it recently and he was just as bad as me. But yeah, flipping hard game to work out. To be honest, I couldn't flipping follow the TV program either. But yeah, it does work, so I'm really chuffed with that. But will I ever play it? I don't know, to be honest. I'll probably have to give it a go, so I've got to suss it out at some point. Another game I got is a game from Jeff Minter. A game called Photon Storm, which I played recently when I was doing my top 100 videos for the Amiga Power magazine. So yeah, a nice shooter. I've not tested it as yet. I'm not sure you can see the screenshots there. I'll give it a go if you like shooting games, because it's good fun. Not bad condition either. I think that cost me about £7, whereas Nightmare cost me about, I think about 15 quid or something. It's not bad for an Amstrad game, to be honest. Right, next up, another ST game, a game I used to have back in the day, and it wasn't a bad arcade conversion considering how flipping hard the arcade game was to convert, that is. That's hard driving. Play it nowadays, it's very, very slow. But yeah, instantly recognisable though. Very good game. I used to enjoy this game. We used to actually go up against yourself. So you set yourself a lap record and you had to beat yourself. And that was beat yourself. But yeah, you know what I mean. You used to have to race against yourself and try and beat your time. But yeah, really good fun. Nice little sticker in there. I'm sure there's a badge somewhere. I'm a hard driver. Stick it on, mate. But yeah, little badge, little sticker. Not a bad game, to be honest. I got it on the Amiga. Not much difference between the two, but the ST was always better at 3D games as long as there's no flipping sound in it, because the processor was slightly faster. That's hard driving. Right, next up I've got another 16-bit game. This is for the Amiga this time. Again, I only played this when I did the Amiga Power Top 100 videos and I quite enjoyed it actually. Bit of a quirky game, and that is Monty Python's Flying Circus. I picked this up from retrogames.co.uk for about 15 quid. But yeah, not a bad game. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's nothing special, I just found it a bit different. Again, another badge. I've got a nice badge collection going on as well here. And in quite nice condition, to be honest. So yeah, quite happy with this one. I think this one set me back about 12, 15 quid again. Something like that. Another Amiga title. Unfortunately it's not complete because it's missing a poster and I think it's missing some stickers. That's Crystal Kingdom Dizzy. Yeah, that's right. It looks just like Fantasy World Dizzy, this one. The box is very similar colour and very similar design, but again I've not really played this one. I think I picked this up for about 20 quid. If you got it complete it'll probably fetch you about £50, to be honest. But like I said, internally I'm missing a poster. I'm missing a set of stickers, but I do have the instructions, Seamus, and good old Denzel. So yeah, not bad. Again, I've not played it yet. It does work. I've loaded it up. It's okay, but I haven't got stuck into it. To be honest, I never really played a Dizzy game. It's just flipping crazy, I know, but I've got quite a few Dizzy titles now, but I've never played any of them. Right, next up is another Amiga title. I already have this in the collection, but this is a variant, and that is Ballistics. It's written by the same guy who done Shadow of the Beast. I forget his name now, Martin Edmondson from Reflections. So yeah, not a bad game. Nothing like Speedball, nothing like that. He literally looks like you're shooting a ball into a bunch of balls, trying to get one of them into a flipping goal. It's not a bad little game, to be honest. I've not really spent a lot of time on it. It's not quite like Speedball 2, but it's good fun. But there are different variants to that. Obviously there's the small box variant, which was released by Cyclops. There's that variant, and there's also another one which was a re-release. Speaking of variants, I've got another one here. I said I wouldn't do this and get flipping Psygnosis variants, but clearly I've flipping done it. So that's Obitus, which is the slim box variant, which is the ones I prefer, to be honest. I already have this in the large box variant, which normally would come with a t-shirt. Never really played it, a bit of an RPG looking kind of game. I never got stuck into it. I'm pretty sure it's by an Italian or a Spanish developer. So a little bit different. I think I've shown you the box already. Not sure why I'm doing that again for. Another variant from Psygnosis, one I've been after for flipping ages actually, and this is this double pack for Lemmings. So Lemmings and Oh No More Lemmings in the same box. I think this one cost me 20 quid, and the previous one I think was about 20 quid as well. It's not bad really. Again, lovely condition. Really pleased with this one. This one was a bite now. As soon as it came up, I snapped it up, so to speak. Right, got 2 more Amiga titles left to show you. The first one I've been after for quite some time as well, and it is a variant of a game I bought not long ago. And this one was actually pulled from sale because it looked just like R-Type. That is Catechis. Now, interestingly enough, which I'll bring up in a spotlight video real soon, Activision weren't too impressed by this, as you can imagine. They just forked out a load of money for R-Type. But they actually got these guys to write the Amiga and the Commodore 64 versions of R-Type. How bizarre is that, eh? That's Catechis, not a bad game. Cost me about £75, which is about the going rate for it, to be honest. Obviously, the re-release version is called Denaris, and to be honest, they're quite similar. They've got quite a similar value, and just about as hard as each other to get. Next one then was a bit of a bargain, I thought, because I only ever seen it before in a shop, and it usually gets listed for about 400 or 500 quid. This came up on eBay, again via ebay.com, the American site. I think it was about 38 quid, I think. That's Fantastic Voyage. Now I bought this copy, and another copy came up straight away from the same seller. So I was a little bit dubious, like, sounds a bit dodgy. I can have 2 games that generally never ever come up full stop. But it's a lovely condition. Absolutely mint condition, which obviously makes you think, is it a flipping copy? But if it's a copy, it's a flipping excellent one of a game which I don't think anybody actually knows what it's worth. I don't think it's worth 500 quid by no means, but yeah, really chuffed to have it. It looks like it's genuine, but who knows these flipping days. But who the hell would pirate that for a start? Who would pirate Fantastic Voyage? Alright, the only Mega Drive game I bought for flipping ages. There's a brown sleeve game I've been after. I've got Robocop vs Terminator. This is probably equally as sought after and probably equally as valuable. So the game is Home Alone, which what amazes me about these games is the only difference between this and the original release of it is the sleeve. Everything else is exactly the same. So internally you've got obviously the manual and the cartridge. Yeah, Home Alone, never played it to be honest. I've been after it for ages. I saw it come up in France. I picked it up for about, I think about 80 quid, 80 or 90 quid, so I didn't think that was a bad price to be honest. So yeah, I'm after a full set of those classic Mega Drive games. I think the most expensive one I've got left to get is probably Shinobi 3, which I already have it in the Mega Drive collection, but not in a classics label. Right, the next 2 then are FM Towns games. One of them I didn't show you when I did my collection video a couple of weeks ago, and that's Wing Commander. Which is very, very similar to the PC version, to be honest. And a lot of these games you can play in English as well as Japanese, so you're quite lucky really. But again, it just comes with your CD. This game isn't particularly expensive. I think it's cost me about 15 quid a couple of years ago. And a manual. The manuals are all in Japanese as you would expect, to be honest, but the actual gameplay, you can play it in English as well. But yeah, luckily I know how to play the game, eh? Another one of those Amiga games that I used to have back in the day. I think it found its way from the PC first though, didn't it? And the game I did pick up quite recently is one of my favourite flight sims on the Amiga. That's F-29 Retaliator. So it's really nice to play this game, but play it at a decent pace. Probably very similar again to the PC port. This one comes as a bite now, but I wanted it that badly I snapped it up. It's about 50 quid I think I paid for it. So it's probably about twice of what it's really worth, to be honest. But yeah, usual stuff, CD and a manual. Unfortunately it wasn't very well packaged because the mount the CD goes into snapped, so you can hear it flipping all rattling around as you got it out of the box. So that's a bit of a pain in the arse. I don't know why people just don't flip and package things right. Right, the next 4 are big boxed PC games, and they're all by Ocean Software. So most of these I bet none of you have flipping heard of before, because I never heard of any of them, maybe except for one of them, which is the first one I'm going to show you. And that game is called Guts and Garters in DNA Danger. Again, very obscure Ocean title. I remember seeing this in PC Gamer back in the day, but I never bought it. Clearly never played it. I'm not sure when it came out. It must have been easy, what, 96, 97? Because Ocean were taken over in 1997. I can't see when this game would have come out. No, there's no year in it at all. Yeah, anyway, so quite a late Ocean game. In fact, these 4 games are really late Ocean games. Next up is a game called Project Eros, which is only one bit of footage on YouTube for this game. It's very, very similar to Command and Conquer. Again, another obscure title I've never heard of. I got this from Retro Pixels. I think it was about £20–25. It's the only copy I've ever seen, to be honest. So yeah, very strange Command and Conquer clone. I think it's done by an Eastern European developer. Again, there's no year on it, or one I can see anyway. Need some bloody glasses, I think. But yeah, another really bizarre, strange game. For some of these titles here, I'll leave a screenshot of them in the corner so you can see them. But yeah, all brand new to me. I never heard of them. I think there's about 2 or 3 more Ocean games I'm after for the PC, especially big boxed. The next one is quite a nice one actually. It's a game developed by Team 17 and released by Ocean, which obviously they had a bit of a partnership back in the mid-90s, didn't they? This one is very similar to an arcade game I'm sure you would have played in the past. That's World Rally Fever. And when you look at the gameplay footage of it, don't that look familiar? So yeah, so one of those buggy racer games. Again, I'll leave some footage for you to have a look at, but it's really good. Really good. I've not played it myself. I should just literally put it through DOSBox really, but we'll get round to it. But from the footage I've seen, it looks very, very similar to Power Drift. And the last one is a game I've been after for a while, really difficult to get hold of. This one isn't in particularly nice condition, but I saw one in Europe go for about 150 to 200 quid. And it's a first person shooter from Ocean. Again, it's a really late game. It's called Last Rites. This one I had to get from America. It cost me about probably just over 100 quid by the time I put import tax into it. But as you can see from the back of the box there, it's got a sort of damage which is typical of being in a sort of damp environment or got wet in the past. So I'm going to swap this one out for definite, but beggars can't be choosers with this one because it's flipping hard to find. It's a really, really late shooter. Very sort of like a zombie apocalypse kind of game. But again, the manual's like, whoa, nothing on it. It's just black. And you get a little disc in one of these kind of fancy sleeves. Some CD32 games came out like that. 1997. So yeah, that would have been one of their last big box titles to be released. So really chuffed to have this one. I would like an improved one, but like I said, flipping hard to get. So that's it. That's it for my pickups for this month. I will delve into some of these a bit more because some of them are quite interesting, to be honest, especially Catechis, Last Rites, that Power Drift game. They all look really interesting. So thank you for joining me. I've got some more pickups on the way. A lot of 8-bit stuff, to be honest. I've been going after some of those old Imagine games from before Ocean Software took their name over. I didn't realise how many the games Imagine released for the VIC-20 and how flipping shit they are. But anyway, I'll leave you with that one. So thank you very much for watching and thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care of yourselves and bye for now.